Let's move on to this conversation now with final preparations underway for the mass funeral of the 21 Enyobeni Tavern victims. The probe into the tragedy continues. The Liquor Board and the Portfolio Committee on Women, Children and Persons with Disabilities have been on the ground gathering information firsthand. Meanwhile, the ANC Youth League in the Dr WB Rubusana region has condemned what it says is the grandstanding of members using the tragedy to, and I quote, feed their self-absorbed and factional interests. Now let's speak to SABC News senior reporter Chriselda Lewis, who is live for us in East London. Now, Chriselda, yesterday, we saw, of course, what was, the candlelight ceremony. This morning, we saw you managing to get inside the tavern and painting a picture of what may have happened in the hours leading to this tragedy. But now the attention has shifted towards the funeral tomorrow. Take us through the preparations.
Well, that's right, Bongiwe. A very good evening to you. These indeed live pictures from the area where these final preparations are currently underway. This massive tent has been erected to ensure that, it's all systems go for this final send-off of these 21 young people or teens that had passed away at the Enyobeni Tavern. So I'm going to speak to Avbob just very shortly to get a sense of exactly what the situation is. What I do know at this particular point is that it's possible that there would be 19 empty coffins that will be here, and one of the families is doing a private burial tomorrow, I understand. We'll get clarity on that in just a moment, and another on Thursday. And I'm told then that this mass burial will take place after the program here has taken place. So we'll get a bit more clarity on that at the moment in terms of what the program itself will look like. But of course, final touches are being put to what will then take place tomorrow morning. I'm going to bring in now Elaine Gogo, who is with Avbob, and she'll give us some clarity on what's expected to take place. Ma'am Elaine, thank you very much indeed for your time. We appreciate it. Just some clarity in terms of what is expected to take place here. I'm hearing 19 empty coffins. The families have asked that their loved ones not be brought here. Just some clarity perhaps from you as the parlour.
Thank you so much, Chriselda. Good afternoon to the viewers. What is going to happen is tomorrow, only 19 coffins will be here with our vehicles. However, we have got an opportunity to bury all 21 children. But it's just that the other one has been already been buried today. So that is why we're bringing only 19, because the other one will be buried tomorrow. So there's no need for the family to be up and down and coming here. Then it was agreed that we'll only bring 19 empty coffins, as the family also have agreed that we must bring the coffins without their children. And then those that will be buried afterwards. After this service tomorrow, they will go via to our agency in Mdantsane and then collect their loved ones for a private burial tomorrow in the afternoon.
All right, so clarity is that, of course, those will be 19 empty coffins that will be here tomorrow. We also understand that there will be a prayer service that the families will conduct as well. That's where the program itself is expected to start.
Yes, the prayer service will happen here tomorrow. And then afterwards, it will go to the families in their respective homes. It's not going to be something that is done at the funeral parlor in Mdantsane.
Right, Ma'am Elaine, thank you very much indeed. We really appreciate it. That really does shed some clarity on some of the questions that we were asking. If I can ask you to please just step towards this direction. I'll have a conversation with you in just a moment, if I can ask you to just be here. And Francis, as well as Monge, you would know yesterday as well, when we were broadcasting from that candlelight ceremony, there had been a bit of dissent after a statement was released from the presidency indicating that President Cyril Ramaphosa will be in attendance here at this a mass burial which is expected to take place. And we had someone from the ANC Youth League. You would know that there are quite a number of factions, if I will bring in the ANC Youth League here. There are those that don't recognize others, and statements were made. And basically, we were told by the regional chair, Ondela, who basically said to us that, he doesn't understand what the president will be coming here to do tomorrow, unless he'll be welcomed here, only unless he will then be raising issues that will deal with the plight of young people. I want to bring in now, responding, you would have seen that statement a bit earlier on this afternoon, a statement from the ANC Youth League, Dr WB Rubusana region. And at this particular point, I'm joined by the regional secretary, Konaye Tulongo. And thank you very much indeed for joining us. So you're condemning what happened yesterday. Is President Cyril Ramaphosa welcome here?
Good afternoon, Chriselda. Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa is very welcomed as the sitting president of the ANC and as the sitting president of the country. As you know that we must let the families grieve properly. We must not bring the fractional problems of the ANC into this tragedy. This thing is painful. Even the country is grieving. So we condemn what Comrade Ondela has said on TV yesterday. The president is welcomed here, and he will get his welcome as the sitting president. If someone doesn't support Comrade Ramaphosa, there's a national conference on December. He must make sure that is a delegate so that he will vote against the president. But as the current sitting president is welcomed here to address as the tragedy has happened.
And I have to ask you this, and unfortunately I think we've run out of time. I've only been given 8 minutes for this, so I really do appreciate your time. It was quite important to ventilate those issues, given Bongiwe and Francis that yesterday we did broadcast some of that dissent where it seemed like there were certain corners that were not welcoming of President Cyril Ramaphosa being present here at this mass burial. So 19 empty coffins expected to be here. The families are saying they don't want the display of their loved ones here. There are some private burials that will be taking place. So after what will be taking place here, where the program itself will be taking place here at this tent, there will be some burials that will be taking place. We'll see, Francis and Bongiwe, in the best possible way, also to be trying and be sensitive to these families. If we can also bring you that part of the program that will be taking place. But certainly the final touches to this, a reminder of the tragedy that had taken place, which many here have described as one of the worst tragedies to take place in this country since the dawn of democracy.
And definitely it's going to be all about sensitivity there, as Chriselda really brings us up to speed with what will be happening tomorrow, taking us in to those preparations ahead of the mass service then tomorrow of these 21 young people who died at Enyobeni Tavern Tragedy. We'll continue to monitor developments around the story and cross live to our reporters then on the other side of 6 o'clock as well.